Let the music begin in 3, 2, 1.
Having fun,
that's what we're gonna do.
Mr. Henry,
Mr. Fight,
exploring along with you.
Learning music, having fun,
that's what we're gonna do. Mr. Henry,
Mr. Fight,
love hanging out with you.
The Music Podcast for Kids.
Hello, and welcome to the Music Podcast for Kids. We're your hosts, Mr. Henry
and Mr. Fight, music educators extraordinaire.
The Music Podcast for Kids is a fun and educational podcast where we learn and explore the best subject ever, music! Today's episode, we are learning about the brass family. What is that sound? Sounds like a bee. Okay, just relax. Not sure what to do. Hey, Schmoogle, what to do when a bee is in the house? Oh, no. It's getting closer. Oh, no, I think I'm allergic to bees. Mr. Fight, look out! There's a bee behind you!
A bee? No, it's not a bee, Mr. Henry.
Well, it sure sounds like a bee. What is that sound?
Oh, well, I found this thingamabob in my attic and was able to make a buzz sound when buzzing my lips into it, but not really sure what it's for.
Oh, so it wasn't a bee. Let me see that thingamabob. Oh, I know what this is. It's a metal, funnel. Yeah, and it's used to funnel honey into the bottles, but when you're done with it, you can make it sound like a bee?
Yeah, I don't, no, that's... Oh, no, wait, I saw someone the other day carrying this thing around with his, a trumpet. In fact, it was the last thing he placed into the trumpet, then he put his lips onto it to play, and boy, did it sound good. Way better than just buzzing into it all alone. But what do you call it?
A trumpet buzzer thingamabob?
No, not a trumpet buzzer thingamabob. Maybe,
Well, I know what we can do. We can do what we always do. We can ask Schmoogle.
Oh boy. Okay, let me see that computer. Let's see. Piece that is played by the mouth found on a trumpet. Come on, Schmoogle. I know you have the answer. I have it! The piece that is played by the mouth on a trumpet is called the mouthpiece.
Whoa, the mouthpiece.
Well, it is sure fun to play. We need to find a trumpet.
Oh, I could make one for ya. Let me see here. I just need some scrap, brass, metal, large facility that produces trumpets, tape, post-it notes, peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Henry. It's okay.
And now the music joke of the day.
We love jokes. So if you have a joke, please visit our website, themusicpodcastforkids.com, to submit your joke.
And guess what? It doesn't even have to be a music joke. It can be any joke.
We will read and enjoy your joke on the podcast and also let everyone know who it came from and where you are in this great, big, wonderful music world.
Our joke of the day is...
Hey, Brucey Shark.
Hey, Billy Shark. How's Baby Shark?
Baby Shark's doing great.
Oh, I see something in the distance. Looks like
food.
Hey, what are you doing with that tuba?
What do you mean, what am I doing? Every time we see food, I gotta play this tuba part.
How can you even swim with that big old tuba?
Practice. 10,000 hours of practice.
Well, you really need to put away that tuba because it's scaring away all of the food.
Oh, right. I'll put this tuba mute in.
Bonk. Tuba mute?
Yup. It's this big thing that you stick into the bill that makes it softer. Oh, look. There is more food.
got away. I really think we need to put that tuba away. It's scaring all the fish. Here, let me hold on to that tuba for you.
Oh, great, thanks. I need a break anyway.
Oh, wow. This thing is kind of heavy. At least now he won't scare away the food.
Hey, look. There is more.
Food. Let's get it.
Follow me.
Oh, boy. Make sure to send in your jokes by visiting our website, themusicpodcastforkids.com. A link to the website can be found in the show notes.
And now, the music word of the day.
Music word of the day. Music word of the day. Music word of the day. Music word of the day. Yeah! Before we get to our main focus of the day, the brass family, let's take a look at the music word of the day. Forte.
The word forte has a couple of different meanings. Hey, Mr. Henry, what are you doing?
Fencing.
Fencing in the middle of a podcast?
Well, you weren't talking about the word forte, right?
Yeah, but...
Well, the word forte is used to describe part of a sword when fencing. The part of the blade found in between the middle and hilt, or handle, is the strongest part of the blade, which is called the forte. So I was practicing to make sure I hit the strong part of the blade.
Oh, wow. That is pretty cool. I didn't realize that forte was used as the strong part of a sword. But wait, we are supposed to be talking about music here.
Oh, right, sorry.
Okay, as I was saying, the word forte in music, Mr. Henry, is a fancy smanchy word for when music is performed loudly.
When talking about the brass family, you will learn that they are a pretty loud family. So we will use the word forte, and we will even find out which brass instrument is the loudest of them all. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you are enjoying the show so far.
Please subscribe to the podcast to receive the latest episodes and leave a review through iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Also, get updates on what we are up to through Facebook and Instagram by finding us at Music Podcast for Kids. Links will be found in the show notes. On to the show!
And now, the main subject of the day.
Let's check out the brass family. Many, but not all brass family instruments are made out of metal. And the type of metal that is often used is brass.
Now, even if an instrument is made out of the metal brass, that does not necessarily mean it is part of the brass family.
Very true. For example, the saxophone is made out of brass, but that instrument is part of the woodwind family.
And there are instruments in the brass family that are not made out of metal, like the didgeridoo.
The didgeridoo what?
The didgeridoo. It's an instrument from Australia and sounds like this.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, the didgeridoo is not made out of brass. It's a long tube made out of bamboo, and at the end of the tube, where you place the mouth, is made out of beeswax.
Pretty cool. So it can be a little tricky to figure out which instrument is part of the brass family.
Yeah, it's true. So let's figure this out. Brass family instruments have to be played a certain way. First, it needs air to move through the tubes. But as air is produced, you must also buzz your lips. Oh, look out! It's that bee!
Okay, we do not mean that type of buzz sound. The buzz sound you need to play a brass instrument sounds like this.
Oh, well, that sounds interesting. Sounds like you may have had a couple too many cans of beans.
Mr. Henry.
What is really cool is when you place your mouth on the mouthpiece of a brass instrument and blow while buzzing your lips correctly, a cool sound will come out of the instrument, like this. Sweet!
The combination of air and lip buzzing is called a player's embouchure. Oh, that's fun to say. Yeah, say that with me. Embouchure.
Embouchure.
Nicely done.
So, an instrument in the brass family is not based on what the instrument is made out of. It's the way you play the instrument.
Right. So if you have an instrument in front of you and the only way to play it is by using your air and buzzing your lips, then it's part of the brass family.
Let's check out the 4 main instruments in the brass family.
The trumpet. It's the smallest of the 4 we are checking out today. Since it is the smallest, it plays the highest notes.
The trumpet has a mouthpiece and these 3-button thingamabobbers that performers press down with their fingers, which are called valves. The tubing on the trumpet is bent and coiled up, but if you were to spread it apart into a straight piece, it would be almost 5 feet long. Cool!
The French horn. Oui, oui, the French horn. It is from France.
Actually, Mr. Fight, it's not from France. It was used in France a good bit, which is why it was called the French horn, but originally it came from Germany.
Well, what about the French fry? It's from France and so delicious. I could eat so many of
Well, actually, that's not from France either.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, the French horn is actually a pretty long instrument in the brass family.
That's right. And even though it's really long, you can still play high notes since all of the pipe is thin and wrapped all around.
The French horn also has 3, sometimes 4 valves, and also a big bell at the end of the instrument. Players actually put their hands inside the instrument to help with the sound and note production.
There is a ton of tubing all curled up with the French horn. If you were to uncurl it all, it would be 12 feet long. That's as long as
48 donuts.
Donuts?
What? I'm hungry for donuts.
Oh boy. What's next? The trombone.
This brass instrument plays lower notes than the trumpet and French horn. It does not have as many curves and bent-up pieces, but it still stretches out to 9 feet.
The trombone can have a valve, but to play most of the notes there is a slide that goes up and down to make the high and lower pitches.
The trombone can sound like this. You can hear how the notes slide up and down. Pretty cool.
Remember when we discussed the word forte earlier? What did that mean again? Forte means to play loud. Well, guess what? The trombone is the loudest instrument, not just of the brass family, but of all of the instruments.
Up next,
The tuba. It's the biggest instrument and has the lowest notes. You actually have to sit down in order to play it.
The tuba has valves to press in order to make different notes. If you stretched out the pipe of the tuba, it would be the longest, 18 feet long.
The tuba has a large bell, sometimes up to 20 inches. So if you see that big brass instrument with a big bell, you know it's the tuba.
Awesome. So, there are 4 main brass instruments that we find in the orchestra. There is another type of instrument, part of the brass family I mentioned earlier.
The didgeridoo. The didgeridoo is part of the brass family, even though it's not made out of brass.
The didgeridoo is from Australia and typically made out of hardwood or even bamboo. On the top of the hollowed out hardwood is hardened beeswax, which is the part where you place your mouth to play.
Now, why is this instrument part of the brass family, you might ask? Well, it's because in order to play the instrument, you must use your air and buzz your lips to make the sound. You need an embouchure.
Sometimes people will hum and sing as they play to make some really cool sounds.
Super cool. And that's the brass family.
Time for the Super Duper Music Challenge.
It's time to test your ears.
Test your ears? I don't think you can really give your ears a test, Mr. Henry. I mean, how do your ears hold a pencil without bleeding?
Oh, no, Mr. Fight. When I say test your ears, I mean listening to something and trying to figure it out through hearing it.
Ah, right, of course. Time to play the Music Podcast for Kids Super Duper Music Listening Challenge.
I don't know, Mr. Fight. A little bit long of a title?
Yeah, we need to work that one out.
Yeah, we will. We'll work it out. Okay, on to the challenge. For today's challenge, we are going to listen to 2 different instruments. One instrument is from the brass family. The other is not from the brass family. We will also have a super challenge question. At the end, I will play 2 brass family instruments, and you have to guess which one it is. Here is number 1, the first instrument. Here is the second instrument. Which one is part of the brass family? Number 2. Here is the first instrument. Here is the second instrument. Which one is part of the brass family? Number 3. Here is the first instrument. Here is the second instrument. Which one is part of the brass family? Number 4. Here is the first instrument. Here is the second instrument. Which one is part of the brass family? Here is the last question, the super challenge question. I am going to play 2 instruments from the brass family, and you have to figure out which one is the trumpet. Here is the first instrument. Here is the second instrument. Which one was the trumpet? To find out the answers, go to the show notes. We hope you did a great job. Awesome!
Just chat. Just chat. Just chat. Just chat. Just chat. Just chat. Just chatting.
So, Bill, we're talking about brass instruments today.
Yep.
So, did you play a brass instrument at all? Or?
I did, yeah. So I started in band, 4th grade.
All right.
And the instrument of choice was the trumpet. So I got to play the trumpet. And I played that 4th through 7th grade, and then I switched over to the French horn. My mom thought that would be a good instrument to play. Because not many people play that instrument. It's
right.
It's a pretty hard instrument to play. I mean, every instrument's hard to play well, right?
Yeah.
But there's certain things that instrument, the French horn, that I think not many people ultimately play. It's a kind of more of a rare. So, but then I stopped actually in 8th grade, and we traded that French horn in for a drum set. So, and that's how I started to learn that. But yeah, how about you? So,
I never played any brass instruments in school. I played the clarinet, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade.
Yeah.
And a girl in my class, it was fun. We had first chair, second chair challenges. So she and I would battle. I'd get it one week, she'd get it the next week. It was a fun, fun little rivalry.
Yeah.
Going.
And that was in elementary school.
Elementary.
The
we talked about it even years later. But my dad and brother both play the trombone.
Yeah. And
my dad used to tell me when he would practice his marching band pieces, he would get the record player out. And he'd put these old Sousa marches records on the record player, and he'd have his marching music on his little clip there on the trombone, and he'd play away, and that's how he practiced. It kind of reminded me of when I play the guitar, playing along with the radio. Like,
that's cool. Yeah,
I guess it's not a new thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's neat. My dad actually, he was a trombone major.
Oh wow!
In college, that was his principal instrument.
Cool.
And there's a story that we kind of always talk about amongst the siblings. About how, like, apparently there was a point in time when all the practice rooms were booked up.
Right.
And so he would go into, like, the janitor's room and practice in the janitor's room. You know, that's the determination there was there to practice. So we always thought that would, you know, so like if we would pass a janitor's room, be like, oh, I wonder if Dad's in there practicing, you know. So
he's probably just trying to clean up his playing.
Yeah. Boom. All right, cool.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Time to wrap it up, folks.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Music Podcast for Kids.
We hope you enjoyed the show, and most importantly, learned something cool today about music.
Remember to send in your jokes or even a topic in music you would like us to discuss by visiting our website, themusicpodcastforkids.com. Please visit iTunes to leave a review of the podcast and also share the podcast with friends, relatives, aliens, whoever.
Again, we thank you so much for tuning in.